everyone here. So we will be start our podcast. I just got a feedback. Aeriol said we're doing this is like live stream, no matter what we call podcast or show. So here is today is my happy day because I'm so excited. I have my dearest friend Aeriol with me. So I will be introduced a little bit about Aeriol. Before, of course, I will be tell everyone who's here doesn't know about me. I'm the host, Riya. I've been doing the transformation healing for over 20 years. In the last few years, I have been travel around the world to ask all of the people, not all the people, some people. So I ask the question is, what does happiness meaning to you? So by asking this question is raising your awareness to think about what you are doing. Is that really make you happy? Or is that just you used to do that? So it's all about raising our awareness. Then we can be think more aware. Would we need to change that? So what does happiness is really meaning in our life? I've been interesting since I found out. I interview lot of the people from different countries, different age, and different race. Everyone have different answers because each of us value our happiness different. Today is Aeriol come here to share her story, and I would love to hear her story. How does she transform from his? I bet everyone will have a challenge. How do you transform from your challenge and to become the happy life? We call the higher self, living more majority time with our higher self. So Aeriol, I would like you introduce a little bit of yourself to all our audience. I think probably you will be said more clear who you are. Would you like to say hi, Aeriol?
Hi, Ria. Thank you so much for having me and for putting me in front of your peeps. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. So, I am a metaphysical teacher and an intuitive energy healer for the past 30 years. And I have always been a spiritual entrepreneur and a performing artist, Ria. So I have always, since a very young age, sort of what I call do what makes your heart sing, right? And you do that by from a very young age. I just was like connected to my own spiritual path. I did a lot of meditation really young, even in high school. Very interested in spirituality, ancient mysticism, and ancient cultures at a very young age. And so kind of geeky and booky like that. I went to 17 schools when I was young. I moved around quite a bit. My mom was unsettled um, and moved a lot, and I had a lot of stepfathers. Let's just put it that way. So I went to a lot of schools, and I always had the opportunity to reinvent myself. Reinvent myself, and use new strategies in how I could embody this highest aspect of myself. Now, when I was a little girl, my birth name was Veronica, and they called me Ronnie, right? Ronnie was what they called me when I was a little girl. So when I was in my teens, I wanted to be called Veronica because it was my more grown up name. And then when I got a little bit older and wiser than that, I kind of wanted to embody my higher self, and that was Aerial. So it's almost like taking your seventh chakra. I was very versed at a very young age. I started energy healing, went to the Berkeley Psychic Institute, schooled myself in all things mystical. I have been an avid studier of angels, ancient mysticism, divine science, etc., etc. earned a metaphysical doctorate degree when I was only in my 20s, so very, very young. But taking that seventh chakra, that divine purpose, and that connection to all that is, and sort of shoving it down into the first chakra, right? Sort of awakening the first chakra, like, well, here's the way we're going to do it, like taking it all the way down there to your toes. So I have lived my life as an entrepreneur, as an artist, and always choosing an expression that was in my vocation, having my vocation, because your soul purpose isn't your vocation. It's not necessarily how you make money, but how you express in the world, and what you create in the world is your legacy, what you leave behind, right? So for me, as an artist and as a communicator, I taught music and arts to children to teach them to be spiritual entrepreneurs like this, and kind of embody your purpose and and put your purpose, your seventh chakra information, right down in that first chakra, and make it your power, and really align yourself with that soul purpose, that soul mission. Riya, I have to say, I've known you for, a few years now. And I think that this is, although we come from very different backgrounds, I think this is something that we both do in the quest to be the best self that you can be, to be the most authentic manifestation of your own soul and your highest potential here on the planet, and wiggle your toes and make sure it's all the way down into your body, right? Not just theorize about, who am I? What is my purpose here on the planet? But actually, in your toes, in your shoes, in your clothes, everything is integrated with who you are and how you be. So that's just my little rant for today. I hope that was enough. Yeah. So that's my rant for today, is to really embody the highest aspect of yourself. And my story about my name, Ronnie, Veronica, Aeriol, right? These are the aspects of myself, the inner child, the adult woman, or wanting to be woman, right? I took that on when I was a teenager. I'm like, call me Veronica, because Ronnie is for little kids, right? Like, so, like that part of yourself, reinventing yourself. So Aeriol, my current manifestation of who I am, Aeriol Ascher, is the highest aspect of myself. And as I've expressed my self, and my vocation has sort of evolved from being a teacher of music in schools, right? And evolved that because of vibrational medicine and the energetic aspects of group consciousness and theater and how that works, and wisdom circles of women. It all works together, right? So
That is
that's
powerful, Ariel.
yeah.
Ariel Archer. Did I say that correct?
Asher. No,
Asher.
no, it's Asher. Some people say Archer, and it really ticks me off, because it's not an R, it's an S, my friend. It's an
Okay.
Asher,
For
not
me, I'm the Chinese. The difficult for me to pronunciation is R and S. These two
Oh,
together.
they're the two hardest ones. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
didn't mean to challenge you with my name.
thank you.
That's so funny. I didn't mean to challenge you with my name. I'm just trying. I wasn't.
That was powerful. So I think that is how we get along so well. So I know you, I think probably back to 5-6 years ago, right? Probably it's around, we both have the spa, you have a healing center. So we both in this same.
Yeah, I closed my healing center, and Riya, I closed it, and Riya took my title as soon as no sooner had I closed my center than Riya swooped in to get best day spa in Silicon Valley. I love that. Now I run my healing center online online, and I really have pivoted my business. I'm publishing now. I have published actually 6 books myself and compiled one, which I really enjoy doing. And out of that came so much. I have a background in media production. My career took me in the area of media production, so I just kind of took that out of my back pocket. I love that. I offer speaking and image visibility training for transformational coaches, just so they get loud and proud and out in front. So the Body Mind Soul TV and media network sort of came out of my publishing career. So I just love to juggle all 3 of the things that I do, which are healing, of course, speaking and publishing, and also, I just really, really love working with speakers and publishing. I love what you're doing live here, your live stream or podcast or whatever you want to call it. I think that publishing and also production like this, live stream, podcast, whatever you want to call it. But I think that leaders, awakened leaders, coming together and having conversations like this so that other people can lean in and be inspired to embody their best selves and to know that, everybody, geez, I mean, which of my challenges do you want me to talk about today? 17
So
schools,
that's
right?
what I
Yes,
focus
yeah,
on
but
that one.
I
So
have I have challenges for breakfast, Ria. I am.
so here is we are today's the transformation healing. So I would like all of my guests on here to share some tips for the people who's watching this. Then they can use that tip in their life and help they to manage the emotions, to manage the challenges. Like you said, you moved to 17 schools. I remember when I was little, I moved a lot in the country. Also, that's so interesting. I just talked with my one of my clients last week.
Mm.
She have the son was 14. She's ready to move, and her son was really pissed off. So I don't want to
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
So I remember my daughter when she was 13. I said I moved to San Jose area. She was really pissed off.
Oh
She was
yeah.
yelling at me, said, "You always moving. You never want me to be the friends." So to have friends, I think kids, there are some kids, they do have this fear about the move. So today, when we talk about the move, I want you to give some tips for this young kids also is going through this moving challenging, because each time when we talk about the topic, what is challenging come out. Now you talk about 17 times move. Oh my gosh, that sometimes will be super stressful for that
Well, I think that,
people. How
even
you
if
overcoming that?
whether it's moving
That's
or what, well, I teach public speaking with kids and stuff, and I've really noticed over the COVID, there's going to be different problems, definitely emotional sensitivity problems. The kids are not connecting as well, but it's kind of like moving, right? Needing to learn different ways to connect with people. As far as my super tips, Ria, the thing that I recommend to anyone is to have a daily self-care practice that includes deep breathing, some sort of reflective meditation, and journaling. And that's just for the self, right? Then for if you are a spiritual entrepreneur or if you are a coach, then you need to be published, right? Because that is your platform. That is your manifestation of your word. That is the word made manifest. That is how you do it, right? And if you like super achiever like yourself, get talking, get speaking in front of people. So have an impeccable self-care, including body, mind, soul, and journaling in their very important reflective process, right? Number 2, get published and speak, right? Do like you're doing, do a live, do a podcast, do YouTube, whatever you want. And the key to that is to do it consistently with good messaging. Remember, publishing is your word made manifest. That is your soul. That is you, your story, you made manifest. That's a powerful, powerful thing. And there is a transformation that takes place when people are willing to take that step. It turns them not just into an author, but into a leader at that point.
That's very beautiful and powerful. So I hope all you are got the Ariel's the tips, super tips there. Transformation. What do you do? Generate and also do practice. I think the tips for also for some people. Here is the question I want to ask you, Ariel. So we all talk about meditation is super tool to is one of many super tools is to help us transform. So, but it's some people is especially beginner. It's really hard to get there. See the meditation. I remember. I think many years ago when I first time started meditating, I couldn't sit there for 5 minutes.
Oh, heck no.
Oh my God, it's not now. I can sit there for 3 hours, 4 hours. It's not, I always tell my clients, the meditation is not how long you sit there. It's meditation is how you tap in the different stage of your relaxation, of you, help you to reconnect your breath, to connect your natural rhythm of your body. That give you rest.
Right, and to activate the parasympathetic nervous system so that the body can restore itself the way that it is designed to work. Right? So you must enter this theta state. You must activate this parasympathetic nervous system, no matter how you do it, right? Lay down on a massage table, get cranial sacral work, practice theta healing, practice sound healing, practice it all. Practice something different every day. Be creative. But the point of the matter is you must do something to self-soothe and to whether you use a practitioner to teach you a methodology for going into that mindset and that mind state. I think sound healing is one of the fastest ways to do it. You're like a Pavlovian dog. Ding the bell and you go into that state. You become conditioned, right? You become conditioned to go into that state. Go ding the bell, Riya. Ding the bell. There it is. See, there you go.
That is the sense. So Ariel, I know. I know, Ariel, you and me, we both is sound healing therapy. We are both doing a lot of sound healings with our clients. So here is the general question my clients always ask me. What is the big difference between, so which one is more easier for beginner who's go to different stage of the meditation? Is sound healing, or is music meditation, or is guided meditation?
There's no difference. You have to find what works for you. You have to find what works for you. And listen, I'm telling you, I have been doing guided meditation since I was 14, 15 years old for years and years and years, right? I still couldn't do it. I have terrible monkey brain. So how I did it, well, as a body worker and as a channeler of energy, I had to learn to maintain that state for an hour for a client, right? So that made me have to do it, right? Different hand positions, staying in that state for my client. Sometimes it's easier for us to do things for other people, right? So Reiki healing, sound healing for other people, actually you get the benefit of that healing as well. But what I would do was I would have to put myself in a hot tub of water and soak in the water because you can't get out of the tub. See, I would sit down and I would meditate, and 5 minutes later I would find myself washing the dishes, and I was like, how did I get here? Right? Or I would sit down and I would meditate, even with a tape. I'll put a tape on, it will have nice music, and I'll just listen to the music. And, 5 minutes later, I would be folding the laundry, right? So I had to put myself in environment where I couldn't get out easily, right? So I would set a kitchen timer, 15 minutes, put on music. I would draw an oracle card, draw an angel card, right? Draw a card. And then I would journey into that photo, journey into that archetypal energy if you're using the tarot. Have a conference with, which one is it here? Have a conference with compassion and Archangel Zadkiel. Spend that time there, right? But and if you sequester yourself into the bathtub, now that way has changed. These days, I once a week go and I float in a float tank for the same reason, because I can sustain longer periods of being in that state. I go in the float tank 2 hours each session, right? The way Riya said that she can meditate up to 3, 4 hours, no problem. I go in the float tank, no, 2 hours, no problem, right? But you need to find how you can. So do a sound healing journey. So put yourself in your bathtub and time yourself 15 minutes. You can stay. You can do it. Whatever you can do to stay there.
Yeah.
Everybody has their tool.
I think it's a lot of we are already been meditating for a while, so we know how to into that different stage. I think the big things I really want to help people who's don't know how to
Right.
meditate, who's a beginner, many years ago, how do I transform from couldn't meditating for 5 minutes into the meditation for 3, 4 hours?
Yeah.
There is the journey. It's take time. I always tell people healing is take time, take love, take the things you do practice
And
day
healing
by day.
Yeah, and healing isn't one and done. Healing is a lifestyle. You're never done. When you're done, you're dead. Okay, people think of healing. People think of healing, now, but it's always we're layered. We're like onions, right? So rich and layered. Do a walking meditation. This is also something that I did. I remember invoking the violet flame and walking around my block like 20 times, right? Because I was going through a lot of stuff. But just you grab onto what you need. And you tune into, fantastic practitioners like Riya and myself that are seasoned and have lots of different modalities and lots of different pathways, because there are seven, like the teaching work that I used to do. There are 7 modalities of learning, right? Or if you're into Rudolf Steiner, there are 12. There are not 5 senses. There are 12 senses, right? And we need to learn by absorbing things in different ways and coming about our perceptions and drawing our conclusions in different ways. So maybe one day you do walking meditation. One day you do sitting meditation. One day you lock yourself in the bathroom, in the bathtub, because you can't do meditation like I did, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Oh, Ria, we should tell them every single Friday I've been going to the Rosicrucian Museum, well, the Rosicrucian Temple, and Ria joins me there sometimes, but only spending 25 minutes. It's a very short meditation. We go at noon on I go noon on Fridays at the Rosicrucian Temple in San Jose. It's different, right? It's
It's
not
really different. I like the environment and uh, also I feel it have the serious how to say
mm,
the energy there because you are commit. You are when you inside the temple, you will be able to feel the energy is different. You meditate in your yard, in the
Yeah,
garden.
it takes you out of your environment for sure. You feel like you're transported to Egypt into another time. It's otherworldly. And of course they do use elements of sound healing. They use a gong to clear the area before the people come in, to set the tone and to consecrate our thoughts and our prayers. We all om in unison. these kinds of elements are, they're in multiple traditions because they work, right? They're in
I
multiple
love
traditions.
that big gun. I think the gun, same like my gun is Mercury. I think that gun. That's why when I hear the gun ring, I was wow, that is just straight connect to my heart. It's my
Yes.
favorite gun in my home. I use it all the time.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so that is beautiful. Thank you, Ariel, to remember that.
Pleasure.
I love that place to meditate. You guys always can find it online if they. What is the
Yeah, it's
website they have?
Rosicrucian. It's Rosicrucian Museum. The Rosicrucian, the that is the order of Rosicrucians from ancient times in Egypt, probably from Atlantis, right? I think the Rosicrucians.
I
You
usually
are
have a hard time to pronunciation that name. I always say it's Egyptian Museum next to
Egyptian
the
Museum. Yes, it's the
Egyptian.
Rosicrucian. And if people don't, if they can't get the spelling of Rosicrucian because it's crazy, right? You just
Mhm.
go Egyptian Museum, San Jose, California. I live in
Yes.
San Jose, California. I used to live really close. See, I've been walking around the grounds of that place for many, many years. I like it. So I love that I've been meditating over there. Just puts you in a different environment. And it's not church, right? It's not church.
Yes, I love the openness with the variety. Everybody can come, they accept
It's
everybody.
open to the
So
public.
yes, open to public. And there have a beautiful labyrinth. I like to walk around with that place. If you are local around this Bay Area, living close to San Jose, so that's very convenient for you. But
Even
if you are online,
if you're not local, come on down. Me and Ria both live in San Jose, California. So I think that we should show them the labyrinth ourselves. I think we should have a little event over there and let everybody see the Egyptian museum for themselves.
yes, if you are interested in joining us on Friday, go to the meditating. Always can ring the bell to Ariel and me. We can always go there to walk the labyrinth, going to meditating. But then back to our show here. Thank you, Ariel, to share all of these tips, super tips. You are so organized each part. So sometimes when I'm doing things, I always forgot. I'm just I think I'm more very feelings person. So every time come to, I just following my gut feelings, following my intuition. That's how I did the 2 years travel. I think also, as you know, in the past 20 years, I'm built like a 10 spas. So I have business blood inside me. But how to transfer from the business to the spiritual, then tied up for your spirituality, go back to the business. Then you can have the abundance. Also, you can have all of the healing mortality skill, and you're also very confident to help to others. So that is, I would love all people can hear all of this. That's what you do, that what I do, Ariel. So what is the big, I always ask a favor, the big tips, ask you, you gave so many tips for that. So what is the big tips tied up? How do you, I know you manage so many in your business, like your sound healing, you publish a book. How do you manage all of this in the same time, not get overwhelmed, have the spiritual mindset so that you can doing more smooth and in the same time, so you not get stressed. So is that question clear or I gave too
That
much?
question is about as clear as mud, but I will tell you that my time, my undergraduate work in school is in theater arts, and my theater arts degree would have me being very good at organizing things. It's basically event production, right? So from a very early age, event production. And the books that I am publishing have to do with healing. the website that I've hosted for years, I have offered. I had an international team of psychics even when I had even when I had Reiki Angel Intuitive Arts, which was my healing center. I always did all those things, but now people are starting to now after COVID, people are understanding more online businesses, right? But I had a phone in coaching slash psychic phone line. That's a career that I did since the 90s. I just put them in buckets, right? There's services that you offer, right? Programs that you run, and events that you hold. You just have to know what the categories of things are, and then you execute them. People ask me all the time, what does your day look like? My day looks a lot like this. I found myself a lot now. I talk a lot on shows like this. I'm not running around. My speaker life was really crazy. I was always running around, getting on planes, going and talking here and talking there. I love COVID. I love shutdown. I love staying home and being able to reach the world from right here in my studio. Uh, right? So I like that. I do like to travel sometimes. Rhea knows we travel together a little bit. She travels much more than I do. But I don't, but I spend my energy only on things that further my projects. I only spend energy on talking to my clients or potential clients. I only spend energy rehearsing with musicians that I'm planning for a gig with. I only spend energy that is an alignment. Right? This is why we need to really, energy work is really important. It's just not some theoretical good idea. It's good to practice on yourself because you want to know how much of your energy, how much of your third chakra is getting eaten up with each hour, right? So you got to become really good at your calendar. Every activity has to have a place on your calendar, right? It's not a hard thing. I'm very intuitive. I spend a lot of time just laying around thinking about things. And then spirit drives me, but I'm organized, I'm prepared. Like I have designated spaces for things, and I know I'm very good at time management and my calendar. Not because I was born that way. It's just because I have been doing project management for so long. I know, just like you can manage the employees under those time frames and under the rooms. So if you know how to manage that, you can pretty much do anything, right? So managing a media and TV show is not that big of a deal. I'm interviewing my clients, and I my my TV and media network is now just an online version of my healing center. It's the publications and podcasts and television shows of the healers that I work with and the coaches that I work with. So it's just a different manifestation of the same thing.
Yes, I agree. I think also the calendar, oh gosh, I think we cannot live without the calendar anymore. That's the number one tools to manage everything.
Yeah,
I
it's
have a
part of my
client just
journey.
asked me last week. I said, "What is your big challenging for you working on now?" She was, "I have so many ideas, but sometimes ideas so much I don't know which one I'm go with, and sometimes can be overwhelming because
Sure.
then when
Yes.
you're overwhelming to think, how do you process your ideas? Then time just pass by. You get more overwhelming.
Yeah, and you
So
get into that
focus.
inertia. You get into, if you fall into your head, you get into it. This is why you must have spots for everything. I find color coding is really good for creative people like that, right? All of your household stuff, action, some things like you can color code them with your chakras, color code them any way you like. But for me, all my teaching is in blue, and I have colors that do different things, and then have folders on your desktop that are different colors. So all your ideas, use your notes and put them in the different colored photos. Have as many receptacles. Here's an idea. I want to do a book someday. I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. So make a different color folder for each one of those and put them on your actual computer desktop. Or if you're old school, actually make a file folder for it and throw things in there. But
That's a beautiful area. I think that's why we are so similar. I use 7 chocolates for my 7 days. And Monday is color, Tuesday color, each color. I love all of the colors. So that if it's very easy for you if you love the color to make the 7 chocolate color for your 7 days, each day different. Then you automatically consciously channeling your color with your chocolates.
But I don't do the days in different colors, although I know the days are different colors. What I do are different categories in different colors, right? Because because I do more than one thing on Monday, so I can't have all the red things on Monday, right? I do more than one thing. So for me, like my healing work is all green, my teaching work is all blue. It's just how I've color coded it. Of course, I love your color coding of the days of the week, but I color code so that way if I have blocked off mornings with blue, that means I'm either doing prep work or I'm teaching a class at that time. So I color block time slots. Healing is when my clients come. Usually I do that. There's a couple days and spots that are designated for that. There's days and spots that are, so breaking it down, right? And then not feeling like you have to be confined. For me, I would feel confined. If all the red stuff had to go in one day, then I would get confined. I think it's a great healing. I think it's a great healing practice.
Whatever that work for you, whatever you use, for me it's easy to remember. Oh, red is my Monday. I need to finish all of this. Then on my Sunday, I'm okay. This is my Sunday. It's higher self. It's just for myself, so that I don't have to do anything. So just everyone have different whatever is that work for you, but color coding is super tips for the managing your time. That is beautiful. Thank you, Aeriol. So thank you, Aeriol. Do you have usually I ask all of my guests come to this show, so is there anything they like to give to the audience? How do they find you? And any maybe some gifts, so like I have my guests here. Some people they give the free hypnosis. Someone give this, someone give that. Then you have the book, or you have a link, or anything. You can bring some gifts to our audience there.
Well, certainly we got a lot of stuff coming up.
Wow.
Next month, we have the Confident Speaker Training Program, which is fantastic if you're learning about your voice and trying to be more confident, to bring your mission manifest, as we said. You can find that at aeriolascher.com. There's a bunch of freebies there. It's like a gumball machine, actually. You can get one of a free PDF file, free ebook file of my latest book, Stepping into My Purpose. And that is the tale of a happy medium. It's a great chapter from the book Experts and Influencers. Move forward with purpose. Experts and influencers move forward with purpose. You can get my chapter at aeriolascher.com. It'll be on the front page there. There's actually a couple different chapters from different books that you can download absolutely free of charge.
Thank you, Aeriol. And now also we have Aeriol's information in the captions and later on, so we can put the more the contact information. You can find it on the comment. So please make a comment below if you are interested in any tips you want to have more clear. You can always schedule that with us. Also, if you are interested to on the show to share your stories, your transformation tips to other people, please contact me. Again, it's Riya from Touch. I always think, sometimes I still talk about my old spa name. It's Riya from Zenquency Art of Healing. You know, Aeriol Ascher build so many businesses, and each business have different name. So sometimes I suddenly my old business, sometimes the name jump out. I have to think for a minute. So again, it's Zenquency Art of Healing. You can find out in the Facebook, you can find out on the YouTube, you can find out for all of the social media. So thank you for all of you to wait to hear to be here, and thank you, Aeriol. It's so great to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Ria. Anytime.